down because I want to hear my own voice. My supper at 2 o'clock in the morning, or 3 o'clock in the morning now. Well, it's actually my supper breakfast. I don't get supper. I usually eat once a day, twice a day. One early in the morning, which is right about now, anywhere from 2 to when I get up to 4. I work at 6:30. Oh, good job, Melody. You laid your egg. All my girls laid their eggs this morning when I was cleaning their kennel about 1. So, hi, babies. You guys ready to come out? So I put them over here. There's 2 days worth over here. So probably about 8 eggs. Are you guys coming out and play? Come on. It's up to you. Velociraptors are out here. Yep. Hi, wee girl. Mwah. I love you so much. You're so good, girl. Darkness. This is my only successful assisting hatching as far as all the way. She's reached backwards. Hi, sweetie. Most of the time, they don't do well. All right, what you got? Who else is coming out? Daryl, you coming out, baby? You don't want to come out? No? No, I don't. You want to stay in there? Okay. Darkness is brave. She is. She's a brave girl. I know it. Oh, such a brave girl. She is. Darkness is my bravest bird as well. Daryl is a little skittish. Um, she's also very protective of her daughters. So she has Melody in here, which is her biological daughter, and her foster daughter, which is Sparky, which is Darkness's baby. You gonna come up with you, Mom? Oh, can I give you a pet? Oh, thank you. Oh, they sit really still. They put their head up like this, and they want a pet. Also, see W. You want to see the babies? Oh, I haven't opened the babies up yet. I don't think any hatched. We had 4 that picked yesterday. It's gonna make it difficult today because they haven't hatched, and I have babies that need to be turned, which is over here. So I'm gonna have to wait on that until these ones are doing that. And I don't know why it's taking so long, to be honest with you. I've never seen them pick. And oh, there's one. There's one coming out. There's 2. Oh, I have 1, 2 that's got bigger holes. This one. But I had 4. So I checked them yesterday. They hadn't broken the. They broke it just a little bit, just the picking part. But they had broken the end. So I was able to turn all these little munchkins over here yesterday, but today I'm not going to be able to. They're coming out today. Hi, sweetie. I know. I see you. I see you where? You gonna come out and say play? You gonna come out and play? All right. So those are coming out soon, probably today. I probably am going to. I don't know. I might take a half a day off. Usually I don't. I take the day off for birth, but these are so slow. So I don't know if they're. I probably am going to take the half a day off. I'll probably work until a certain point, but this one's going to be out in a minute. It's working. It's zipping right around. I can't film it because the camera's way over there. And I'm doing my morning live, so I can't film it. But you don't know if you can see it. So I'm going to push them up. I just push them back. I'm going to push them up, and we'll see if you can see it on this video, but I don't think you're going to be able to. All right, we'll see it right there. But the babies are going to come out in a minute. They get to come out and play. I just wanted to sit down for a minute because I've been working since 2 o'clock. So, Daryl, you going to come see the babies? Come here. Oh, they know their babies are being born, so they can hear them. Look at that. Look at that, baby. Is that your baby in there, Daryl? On the darkness? call a girl. She does not like it when I call her. You want to go? Woo! Gotcha. Little potato. All right, dust bath. I'm gonna get the dust bath for them. They usually have a dust bath. They all go in at once. The girls. I gotta get my food, which is in the refrigerator. I'm having Taco Bell for breakfast. Here you go. Dust bath. All right. There. Look at it. Oh, it's one over there. I know. You want me to put it over there? All right. Who wants the dust bath? Who wants the dust bath? Lucky Boo, do you want this bath? Darkness says she's gonna take a dust bath. Anyone wants a dust bath? Lucky Boo, you want a dust bath? Come here. That's a good girl. Listen, man. Look at it. I know. This is my Sparky. Mwah. This is Darkness' baby. Put her in here with Mom. I can lock it. It has a hole right here. It has holes all the way around, so there's no issue with freezing. But I lock them in here because predators, my birds, the only one that would really mess with them is which is, I don't know where she's hiding. Izzy Boo, where'd you go? I don't know where she's at. I don't know where she's at. She's around here somewhere. So a little bit's really good about watching them. The worst that she'll do is, oh, there she is. She's hiding right over here. The worst she'll do is be nice. A little bit just discipline her because she's not supposed to be over here next to those babies. Yeah. Other than her, my boys, none of them really actually actively mess with them. They're more of a nuisance than anything else. So if they're eating or drinking and they're in their way, they'll tell them to move. Hi, baby, my dear. I said we love you so much. You want to see the baby? She's looking right up. Come here. I'll let you go up and see. She gets a little scared about going up here, but I do like to have them see the baby. Is the baby's in there? Good mama. We're not staying. She's like, I don't want to go in there. She doesn't like none of them want to raise the babies up to a certain point. Daryl did do it. I made her do it for the first two, which is Melody and Sparky and all the boys over there, except Sunny D. But these ones, she said no. So they come in here every once in a while to basically eat their food and socialize with them. They're in here right now. It's cold. Hi, baby. Oh, you're taking a nap. What a good girl taking care of your baby sister. No, I'm not taking you out right now. There's too many babies out here. You're such a great baby. Lay down for the night. I'm not taking you up. I promise. Stop stepping on your sister. Hi, little boy. Hi, Warren, baby. So they're all on there. They have a heating pad in there. So when you guys looked in there, it's like 69 degrees as far as the air. But they have a heating pad in there that's like, I don't know, like it's enough to keep them warm. This one heating pad that I got doesn't show me the digital. It just shows me like level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. It's on level 5. It goes up to level, I think. Oops, that's the wrong button. It goes up to 6. So I have it on 5 because when it gets warmer, like up in the 70s, I push it down to 4. If it gets warm at high 70s, then I push it down to 3. They've only been on 3 one time. It was like 50 something degrees yesterday. So between the atmospheric pressure, warmth, and the heaters, they were pretty warm. So I lowered it down to 3. That was the first day that we had it that warm. So they'll just sit on there, and they got the little blankie, and that blankie gets washed every day. I have a load of laundry that's going to go out. It gets dropped up in there. After I removed all the, and then and then I get it back. So I usually replace it with like a very soft washcloth um, that they use, and then so I have this door locked because she's in here locked. Otherwise, I would lock it. If there was one wandering around, which is don't. Well, I have two. So yeah, I don't necessarily leave my doors unlocked. All my kennels doors locked. Well, they are slide locked. Um, yeah. If I just flip up to him, ooh, you're zipping along. He's gonna be out any minute. He's got almost all the way around. Almost all the way around. Actually, baby, I don't coming out soon and play with mama. So they're gonna go in here, and these ones are gonna go down here, and the mamas are gonna go over there, and then not Sparky, Sissy and Froggy are gonna be roommates. So I'm gonna basically, I should be doing that now. I gotta clean their kennel out, and then what I'm gonna do is make like a room divider with cardboard, kind of similar to this, and just stick it up there so that they can talk to each other and such, but they can't get to each other. As long as they don't get to each other, we're good. But anyway, I'm gonna divide. I have there's two doors on each one of these kennels, so I'm just gonna put the divider between the two doors, and then one of them have a smaller apartment than the other. And then the girls are going to go in that one right there, which is Sissy's house, which is up in the air, and that will let them see everything and be able to view without having too much stressor about predators running by them and such. These babies, the 5 babies here, will go down to here with the heating pad, which is this one right here. It's a solid one, not a soft one like the one they have now. Um, and they'll have that until they're completely fully feathered. Right now, 3 of them are like 50% feathered. The other smaller 2 are catching up. They're just a little bit delayed. The smaller 2. So that is what we're going to do today. That's our plan for today: is to move the moms, move the babies, and this apartment will be empty. Obviously, I want to take this whole kennel and take it outside and wash and hose it down. Generally, I do that to, I don't remember who was the last one. The big ones in there, I just rotate them. So usually it's the kennels get the roof, the floors all get removed every day and get hosed down. Um, but the structure itself, I don't hose it down every day. So that gets hosed down once a week. I switch out who I did. I did the chicken kennel first. So theirs got hosed down 2 to 3 days ago, and then this one is going to get hosed down today. So I moved all the girls out. I'm going to put the babies up in here in the dust bath. I've been encouraging them to do dust baths. So they're going to all go in there, and then I'll take the structure out and wash it and hose it down, and then bring it back and switch everybody around at that point. That's how I'm going to play it. The mamas are going to be moved over there with the boys. The babies are going to be down on the bottom. The 2-week-old babies are going to be down here. Newborns are going to be down in here. Yeah, that's how we're going to do it. Oh, he's out. He's out. Oh, it's a blonde one. Oh my goodness, I got an all white one. These are from the breeder that I purchased. My new breeder. I think it's called Freezing Otter. Rebecca Lynch is her name. She is. She's got the red, the white, and tuxedo red is what she has. I have a little bit of red. My chippy boy has red. And I have a couple babies that have similar red to them. Yeah, it's a baby. It's all what? It's all blonde. So it's going to be a complete white baby. Oh, she's a beautiful baby too. Also sweet baby. Hi, Mama. Now I had the babies chirping yesterday when they pipped. I have a recording that I use on YouTube now of my babies, which I should do one right. But my babies don't really cry a lot, to be honest with you, because they're in a nurturing environment. They don't chirp, right? They don't usually buck 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 buck. They don't do that. They don't chirp a whole lot. The roosters do their thing, obviously, but I don't really get a lot of the anxious chatter that a lot of times you hear with that you guys hear as normal bird chatter. That's anxious cat chatter, and so that means they're unsure of themselves. The environment's not safe. They're not comfortable with the environment if they're making those noises. So my birds don't really chirp a whole lot. But what I did is I replay a 30-second clip on YouTube that has the babies chirping. It's actually a baby that they have sitting outside the incubator, and it's just like anyway. I use that when they're pupping to encourage the birth process. It seems to work always. But anyway, we got a white one. She's gonna be blonde. She's all yellow. So anytime you get a yellow fluff, it's gonna be a white bird. Any parts of the bird that's yellow, it's gonna be white. So that's kind of cool. The yellow turns into white. I don't know why that happens, but it does. But she's beautiful. Ah, sweet, sweet baby. Now I don't usually name my birds. I did start doing that recently, and it helped my heart. I don't name them when they're born. I usually don't name them until they're like almost a week old, and that or 2 weeks old. Sometimes I'll wait a little bit longer and to get their personalities. Like Sparky and Sissy didn't get their names until they were almost adults. So I would call them babies, and I would call them baby girls, and stuff like that, endearment and such. But they didn't get their actual physical name until they were a bit older. Melody picked her name out. I do ask all of them to pick their names, but most of them won't. Macho, my chicken, New England Bantam, he picked his name out. He was actually a female name. All of them had female names, and then of course when they puberty and all that stuff. So Sassy didn't change his name. Honeyboo and Moon did not change their names. Macho was the only chicken that I had that actually chose a name. Melody, my little girl, tuxedo girl, which is Daryl's daughter, chose her name. And obviously, you can tell Daryl, Darkness. Sparky's name was Spartacus, so we changed it to Sparky when he found out she was a girl. Swore up and down she was a boy. Actually waited until they hit puberty. She wasn't laying eggs yet, but I swore up and down that was a boy. And swore up and down Sissy was a girl. So, I'm not good at identifying the nature of quail. The chickens I'm pretty good about. Chickens are easier. If you have a chicken that's overly no! Stop it! Sorry. You need to stop. Right now. I have brought you out 3 times and you're still playing. Knock it off. No! What? We do not need to tell us about the predators. We already know. Please stop. So they're crying because we're being invaded. They're crying because they're being invaded by predators, rats specifically, and not little rats. Well, the ones that are coming and getting in here are about this size. But the rats are about this big as far as full grown. They're teenagers or youth are about that size. All right, I'm not. So that is not okay. I am not doing this, but you. You need to stop right now. You are getting everybody upset. You're doing this and you're getting everybody upset. Stop getting everybody upset. There is nothing in this room that you need to be worried about. I just checked it. There is nothing in here. People are trying to sleep. Quiet. So the resident goes to sleep around this time. She's up until She's up probably from noon until like 4 o'clock in the morning. When I get up, she goes to sleep because she will not sleep if I'm asleep. She will only sleep if I'm awake. Stop. There's nothing. Tomorrow's sleeping. You need to stop. You need to be quiet for tomorrow. You guys like her so much, and you're making her. She needs to sleep. Okay? You guys need to be quiet, time. And of course, I'm not quiet. I'm talking. Okay, so we have one baby out. The other, like I said, we had 4 that pipped. They generally, the pipping process with quails specifically are they'll pip and sometimes they'll just break the shell. Sorry, they'll just break the shell. Then they can wait up to like 12 to 24 hours as long as the membrane is not broken, and they'll still be fine. It's only if they break through the egg completely in the membrane and then it stops that you have to be concerned and worried with quail. Chickens are obviously they get a little bit different. They come out differently. Quail come out really quick. Like they'll pip, like I said, wait 12, 24 hours, kind of like they're doing their. At that point, they're observing the yolk, getting ready and getting their strength up and all that stuff. So they're not technically ready to emerge into the world at that point. They just literally break the egg because they're in the air sac at that point. So they just break the egg, the shell cracks a little bit, the membrane, because they're pushing against the membrane like this, and then the shell breaks on the outside. 12 to 24 hours after that, and then like 5 minutes. They zip all the way around. When they're ready to come out, they zip all the way around, and within 5 minutes, then they pop right out. So quail are very, very quick. You need to get off my area, my girl. That's hunting again. Why? Why, honey? Here. Honey, you want to come out here? You do. You're going to stay on the floor. You're not coming up on the bed. Just look at those paws. Oh, I know they're dirty. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Nope. Bye-bye. Go in there and clean those paws up. So he's back in there. You need to go that way right now. You need to go that way. You need to go that way. You are not allowed to be over here. You already know that. She likes to poo on my pillow because she's mad at me. All right, we're back. All right, so that's the plan of action today. I knew they were going to be born today because, like I said, they picked all yesterday. We had 4 that picked. Those are the 4 that they're. Oh, there's another one. It's a dark one this time. Let's see if I can move it. That's interesting. We got a pure white one, and now we're getting a dark one coming out. Sweet baby, I love you. The interesting thing, as far as the quail and the chickens that are born here, they can hear me all the time, obviously. Their incubator is right next to me, or their nest box. Like if I have 2 broody hen that's nesting their own egg, which I have had Izzy lay her own and nest 1 egg. They're only allowed 1. And then Lizzie and Izzy both have had babies that way. And what is interesting is when their babies are born, they come to me. And it took them a while. Lizzie didn't get upset about it. Izzy got upset about it. It took her about, I don't know, 3 or 4 days before she like got over it and realized that I could be her babysitter so that she could take off and do what she wanted to do. And Lizzie, when she had her baby, it was so interesting because she was so like mama. She would bring the baby to me, put him on my lap, tell him to stay there, which is Luna, and then go about her business. And then she'd go down here on the floor and she'll just stand there and watch to see if her baby was gonna stay with mom. And then she'll just kind of pretend like she's doing something, but she's really not. She's just kind of basically teaching and training her baby. which I think is kind of interesting. And the quail's the same thing. They all know my voice. I would highly recommend if you're going to raise and want to have some kind of relationship with your bird, bring your incubator next to your bed, right? Bring it next to your bed or in an area that's socially like your front room or wherever you guys conjugate as a family. If you have a family in a sense, but wherever you conjugate, wherever you like to hang out, you can unplug it and move it, literally. But I would generally recommend you having them if you're going to be wanting them to socialize with you and wanting to have a relationship with your bird. Have them out here because they literally can hear everything that's going on. Probably, I would say, as far as the activity I've seen, they could probably hear everything you're saying within like a week or two of them. Obviously, about halfway mark. It's kind of cool. Oh, he's already out. Yeah, I told you. 5 seconds and they're out. The pipping part is the longest part for quail. Coming out of the shell, it's very quick and fast. Oh, it's a sweet baby. I know Mama love. Oh, it's a sweet baby. Like I said, these are all from Rebecca Lynch's collection. So she has got a new collection coming out. I don't. They do all these like because Facebook won't let us sell stuff online. A lot of the breeders have to kind of be creative about how they introduce that so the AI doesn't pick it up. And so they do all these like clues and stuff like that. And I'm like, I have no clue. If you don't talk to me plainly, I have no clue what you're talking about. If you're going to talk about subtleties and innuendos, I have no clue what you're talking about. And so I can't ask her. I can't say, I have no clue what you guys are doing. And there's a group that she has, the breeders that are breeding her stock, can join. And so I've joined that, obviously. And my babies just started being born, so I can't, like, predict. I cannot post any information about that. I won't post any information, obviously, until I have babies born. So, anyway, today is probably going to be some posts on it under her page, and then I'll post it on mine as well. And such. But I am part of her private, well, it's not private, public group, but she, obviously she knows who she sold her eggs to. Or she wants to be selling eggs to somebody else. So it's a public group, but she invited the people that she breeds with. So anywho, she has a new line coming out. I have no clue what she's talking about, and I don't know what coloring they're talking about. The ones, like I said, that I have are blonde, which is white, red, or tuxedo red. So those are the ones I have from her. Hi, lover. Oh, it's a pretty baby. I can already see the red. Oh, it's a dark, dark red. I'm a pretty baby. Come on out and join the world. It's a safe place for you, baby. It's a safe place, even though your brothers and sisters make a lot of ruckus. The boys get really excited when the babies are being born, and they generally, like, probably the week that they're being born, they get really, really anxious, I guess the word I want to say. They get anxious, and they're very vocal, more so than they normally are. So it's really frustrating. I didn't realize that was going to be an issue. But the girls get, like, clingy. They'll come over and not clingy, but they'll come over and kind of, like, hang around this area. Lizzie was sleeping right here all night long. So she could watch the babies, watch for any predators. She was so good. I was so proud of her. Little bit decided to stay in with all girls decided where they're going to sleep at night. The boys don't have a choice. They have their own house. So Sassy has his kennel. Moon and Honeyboo have their kennel. Macho is now on top. He has the top, the roof of the kennel. And then Luna, I had to take the second level out because the chicken house that I have, it looks similar to this one, but it's completely from a different manufacturer. And it's just falling apart, which is probably why they're out of business. I have all the pieces for the second. The plastic's fine. It's the wood underneath because I have to wash my kennels every single day. the wood just fell apart, and so and I don't think the wood didn't fall apart. It just fell apart from each other. But it's the fasteners that they used were not good. Anyway, it's out there. I'm gonna try to see if I can find. Oh, he's out. He's pushing his egg away. I so sweet baby. So it's one of the red ones. I think. Obviously, it's red. Now there shouldn't be any eggs of mine in this batch that's being born today. I don't think I had any in there. Yeah, his milk cord is still attached to him. Hi, baby. What's a sweet love? What's a pretty baby? What's a pretty baby? The second batch is going to be about half of Rebecca's and half of mine. So there's some of mine in here. I had some left over at hers. I was a little bit concerned. All of these had what's called a split air sac. So their air sac, instead of being like this, it was split like this. So they had like two, but they were combined. So it's kind of like weird. I was a little bit concerned about them being born, but they look like they're doing good. There's no, they're not having any developmental issues as far as getting out, no struggles or anything. Hi, baby. They'll come right to my voice because of this thing. Hi, lover. I'm a sweet baby. And it's hard because when I'm checking on the other eggs, I turn it and they kind of they follow me. So these ones right here are all going to be born in 5 days. So they're like 5 days behind me. Oh, it's a sweet baby. I don't leave them in here for 3 days like everybody does or says they do. I don't. They come out the day they're born. The kind of things I look for is they're completely dry, obviously. They're walking around. I'm talking about walking on their 2 feet, not just kind of like scooting around and such, but just actually physically walking. Oh my goodness, they got some big. This is a big bird. This is a big bird. You can see by the feet. That's going to be a nice size bird. Now Rebecca breeds for consumption, and so because she breeds for consumption, the ideal for her is to produce larger birds. Obviously, my birds are being raised for therapy birds, and so the size of the bird is not a necessary for me because we're not consuming them. But Rebecca's birds are going to be a little bit bigger, obviously a little bit bigger than my birds because my birds are not bred that way. I don't call any of my birds. A large amount of the Celadon community, which is the blue egg quail community, they call, and I'm being really honest with this as far as what they're telling me. They call probably about 80% of their birds. So 80% of the birds that they have when they're born are removed if they don't fall within a certain um, spectrum. So what they're looking for is um, obviously any developmental issues, cross beak, spinal issues, um, making sure their feet are good, just structurally they're good, mechanically they're good. The other thing they're looking for is the size of the bird because they want a larger. Quails are generally small birds, and so to consume them and sell them as meat, they need it bigger than just one serving size. So they generally try eliminate. So for my birds, the ones that I hatched that are in here that you just saw early this morning, early on the video, of the birds that are in here, they would have culled the smaller two. Those ones would have not have even gone past the first day. There was very obvious difference between the tuxedos tend to run large, um, and the dark ones tend to run small. So if you're going to have dark birds in your line, those ones get culled a lot. They also have more developmental delays. They all have more birth defects. So if you're going to do a lot of people do the tuxedos because they're not as medical issues. I don't know it's because of how the Celadones was generated. The first person that started the Celadon line, in a sense, as far as specifically like getting just Celadon. Apparently, a lot of people criticized that person because he didn't do a lot of culling as much as they figured that he should. So there's a lot of defects that got led into it that was kept into the line, and so especially with the dark. So those ones have a hint to have a lot of defects. But Rebecca kind of did the horror for me. So I didn't. I was looking for somebody that was selling Celadon eggs. Not necessarily. I know that that's how they do it, so it's not like I have a choice saying, "Hey, I don't want to buy eggs from anybody that culls their birds," because they all do it. I haven't found anybody that's not doing it. In fact, they encourage you to do it a lot. Like I said, a lot of breeders that are breeding this line, if they find out that you're not doing that, a lot of them will not recommend you as breeders. Um, they call us the backyard breeder or layman breeder. We're not doing it scientifically. Blah blah blah. I don't come from that philosophy. I'm not consuming my birds. I don't eat their eggs. I don't, that stuff is not an issue for me. Obviously, developmentally, I am not going to breed a bird that has a developmental issue that was born, like Sissy, for example. Of all my quail, of all my quails, Sissy's the only one that I have that has a birth defect that's still alive. I didn't cull them. I have like I said, the dark ones have a lot of spinal issues. They have a lot of issues being born backwards instead of being born, and that causes a lot of spinal problems. It causes splayed legs and different things like that. It causes feet problems, different things like that. So I'm not breeding any of my birds that have a birth defect. I do not cull my birds either. So you can as well see Sissy's over there in his kennel. She's treated just like everybody else. I don't cull my birds. And so because my birds are not for consumption, I don't have to worry about the size of the bird or anything like that. I do take care of all the birds that I have that are born with birth defects. When I got all my birds from the first breeder that did not do what Rebecca did, they were just doing similar to what I'm doing, which is just breeding their bird. They get it from another breeder, raise them, and start breeding them, selling the eggs, right? I didn't realize at that point, because obviously I was new, and I didn't know the questions to look for, especially with the Celadon. And so I did a lot of research, obviously, with the time that I have, and realized that I need to find a breeder that obviously has done the hard stuff, which is weaning out the birth defect. So Rebecca has indicated that she has done that, and so these birds are all supposed to be genetic free, obviously. They're all supposed to be larger than my quail, so they're probably going to be much bigger than my quail, and stuff like that. So what I'm going to be doing is this batch, be it girls or boys. I have two breeding groups. Right now, what I have is Melody. My mom and daughters are with the same breeding group. So Melody and Daryl are being bred with Sunny D. Sorry, thank you, Sunny D. So Melody and Daryl are being bred. Melody is a tuxedo, and Daryl is a rosette. So Melody's father was a tuxedo, obviously. So those two, mother and daughter, are being bred with Sunny D, which is my only original boys from that breeding stock. My three other boys, my Sissy, Froggy, and Dottie, those three, obviously Sissy was never bred with anyone. Dottie was bred with, which was one of my boys. Dottie is Daryl's son. He also is a tuxedo. I had a tuxedo in both breeding groups. Melody is female as my tuxedo, and Dottie was my male tuxedo. Obviously, they're related, so I didn't bring them together. So I'm going to shut this door because I'll let you out. So Dottie was bred with, which is my male tuxedo, was bred with my two face. So Sparky being a mixture of a rosette and face, and then darkness obviously is the face. She was those two girls, mom and daughter, were bred with Dottie, which is the tuxedo. So in my babies I have here, I think I have one, at least one boy. I'm pretty positive that it's a boy. But I have two tuxedos, if not three tuxedos, and then I have I might have a rosette in there. I probably tell at this point because of their feathering are just started, and then I have two rosettes face. So the rosette face are probably from Sparky, and my personal understanding is the feather type goes, the feathering type goes with the female. So whatever female type is, and of course it can mix, but the main part of it, like Melody is going to have a tuxedo baby. Dottie may have a tuxedo because he's a boy, whatever the female is. So that's kind of how it works. So anyway, it's not that they can't be tuxedos, it's just that they have a better chance of being it if the mom is. So anyway, those ones, this group right here, this group of five here, be it boy or girl, they're going to be matched up with Froggy, who has never been, he didn't breed with anybody this time because I did, he's a beautiful bird, and I wanted to breed him, but he was a little bit aggressive, and the girls said no. And so if my girls say no, then it's a no. Sunny D, I usually how I breed my birds is they can retain. The boys don't need to be living with the girls. I need to make that clear. You do not need to keep the boys with the girls to breed them. So I obviously have children. So how I do it is I have this big huge tent. I have two of them, two breeder tents. They're collapsible. So I put the girls in there first. They stay in there for about 20, 30 minutes and such, just to get, so they know what's going to happen. And the boy gets put in there. Depending on the female's response to that, the boy is either going to stay in there for an hour minimum or all day. It depends on the girl. Now, in the situation that I had with these babies in here that were born, I had they didn't reject Sunny D, but they didn't want him in there all day. So he being the older of all my boys. So he was in there for an hour, and I did that for almost a month, I guess. It was about a month. I continually collected their eggs. I disposed of the first 2 weeks of their eggs, but the last 2 weeks that they were breeding, I kept those eggs. So I waited about 2 weeks before I started collecting their eggs for breeding. And then of the eggs, we had 20. Of the eggs that of the 20, I'm thinking it was like 10, 11 of them. Yeah, 11 of them were fertilized. So they were put in the incubator. All of them were put in the incubator, but then about the fifth day, third or fifth day, 30 to 5 days. For quail, it's pretty quick. With chickens, you wait 5 days. With quail, you can do around 3 to 4 days. But I usually wait 5. So at 5 days, if they're not fertile, they get dumped. So at that point, they only had 11 eggs left of the 20 that I had collected. I only have 4 girls, obviously. And then I'm collecting them in batches. So the second batch, the second week, I only collected for a week. Second, or 2 weeks. The second batch was a week. And then the third batch was the third batch is in here in this box. And so anyway, out of the 2 weeks, I have 5 babies. A lot of that had to do with Melody and Sparky and young baby girls. They're laying eggs and stuff, but they're still very young at that time. And so I just think that affected it because by the time I got the second batch, much more fertilization, and the third is much more. So it's just because it was so young. I'm running behind in the season. I'm trying to get all my girls mature by spring so that I can sell my Celadon. So that's kind of where the plan is to get ready for spring. The spring hatching, and then I'll do the same thing. I'm gonna try it for 4 groups. Like I said, Froggy's gonna definitely be one of the groups. He'll probably you know stay with them for an hour. He's gonna be breeding with these ones, so he's not gonna be breeding with these ones, which is he's related to. He's gonna be breeding with these ones. These ones, well, he's technically related to them by like their nieces and nephews are in there. But he's going to be breeding with these ones when they mature. So they're not going to be mature for another 2 months, and that'll bring me into December to January, February, and that'll bring me into the spring fling. Um, and then at that point, I'm going to pair everybody up into their groups. The way that the experts have told me, because I had a limited amount of females, obviously at that time, I only had 4, and I only had 3 boys and 4 girls. So the suggestion is that, obviously their suggestion was to cull, they would have culled Sissy, and they would have culled Froggy, because Froggy was being aggressive to the girls, not really aggressive, not to my aggressiveness, probably they wouldn't have culled him, but they recommended culling Froggy because I made it clear that he was aggressive to the girls, and so they would have just culled him right away. They wouldn't have gave him a chance to mature or get a little older or anything like that. They would have just done that. Obviously, I didn't. I don't do that. But Froggy's like I said, is gonna be breeding with these ones, and then this group right here is going to be breeding with these as well. My girls are going to kind of take a little bit of a siesta with the first breeding group, and then they're going to start breeding at that point. I'll separate them when they're all adults. I just got to keep clear that nobody's breeding with somebody that they're related to in a sense. So that's the biggest thing, which is why I wanted to introduce Rebecca's line in my line, because I needed something that was healthy for my birds to have as a introduction to a new group, and then I needed a different, more variation of colors. That's so we have 2 out right now. We have a blonde and a red. Oh, we have 3 out. I was talking and 1 got born. That's a sweet baby. They love my voice, so talking is good for them. I just got 3 babies. Now there was 4 that were sipping, like I said. So I think I see that 4th one. Nope, that's it's hard to tell at this point because the eggs look similar. But I got 3 babies. I know I saw 4 that sipped. So I have 2 darks and a blonde, which is good. I never had a blonde before. I have the dark ones. I don't the red, and I have the red in my line. It's just very weak because the bird that I had that was red was killed by a predator, and yeah. So I got I had a couple of because they were together before I started my official breeding group. I would let them loose, and the boys would let run to try to see how they interacted with each other in a larger area, not just a kennel. And so that at that time it was Chip and Shelby was my last, and Sunny D were my last 3. I had 5 boys, and Predators got 4 of them. But anyway, Chip and Shelby still had some of their genetics there. They can hold the sperm for up to a month, from my understanding. And so I had a couple eggs from that batch, and that's how we got uh, some of my birds. So, anyway, that's how we got Sparky and Sissy, because we were both like that. What's a sweet baby? So they'll come over here to see Mama. I know you can hear me, can't you? I can see Mama like. I see you, Mrs. Blondie Girl. I see you, Miss Blonde Girl. That's a cool, sweet little baby. Now, the blonde is concerning me right now because she was born first, and she's still laying down. Now, the dark one, which is the one that was born second, is already trying to stand up and everything. That usually indicates a boy. Yeah. That's a sweet love you. We have two darks and a blonde. And I don't know. If, I don't turn this like we have one egg right here that they're kind of surrounding that I can't tell if it is doing anything. And then these two right here. So I'll get their house ready, but they're probably going to stay in here for the rest of the day, if not tomorrow. So I don't, obviously can't open it up when they're hatching. If there's a medical issue, or if one of them is being rude to, if I have one that's having a medical issue and they're stepping on it, I'll take them out. But in this case, I don't have any that are having any issues as far as birth issues. And just a minute. Why? Why are we continually making noise? There's no reason for it. I'm not kicking you out. Move, because every time I kick you out, you continue to scream. Stop. I don't want to hear it. You're not helping the situation. You're not locked up anywhere. You have food and water. You have your own place. Stop. Everything you need. Except the girls, well, that's too bad. You're not getting no girls. I know it. You see the babies in there? You see the babies? They can hear them. They can't see them, obviously. Well, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. A little bit was watching. You're watching the babies? Oh, so good mama. All right, I'm going to stop this with you guys because I have to eat. So I will do a real update on the babies, but this is my hour of my life is over.